Welcome. Here's a Christmas story for you. Our family tradition was to make edible cookie ornaments. We also made handcraft ornaments every year. My favorite thing to do was to buy one special glass ornament for each year. I had quite a collection. This particular year, my boys were 20 and 22, so they no longer lived at home, and it was just me and my girls, 10 and 15. This year, I decided to splurge. I had found a set of glass ornaments that they would only sell as the set of 6, and it was quite expensive, but I splurged and I bought all 6, and I was so proud of myself, and they were so beautiful. And the girls and I really took our time decorating the tree. We put every ornament, all the Christmas ornaments that we had made, we put on to perfection. And we put the cookies, even the old cookies, we put everything on the tree that represented our life. And the new cookies were held up front so that we didn't get them confused. They were easy to tell which ones were fresh and which ones were old. Um, and the glass ornaments that I had collected over the years, we put those on to perfection, and we stood back in awe. This was by far the most beautiful tree we had ever decorated, and we were all very proud of it. Our living room was so nice and so clean and so perfect. We decorated everything. We brought in the fake fireplace and set it up on the wall and decorated the hearth and hung stockings. And even though it was a fake fireplace, no one ever could tell it was fake. It was a giant wooden hearth. It looked authentic. The wooden logs looked real. The flames even looked real. There was no heat, but it looked like a real fireplace, and people would come and stand in front of it thinking it was real. The dog even would lay in front of it, which made it even look more real. Anyway, so we made cookies and candied walnuts and divinity and taffy. We like to do all kinds of candies and cookies and fudge. And we had presents, and so we gathered all of our things together, and we were off visiting relatives and friends and exchanging gifts, and for the holidays. It was our fun time out, and we were gone most of the afternoon, way into the evening. So we lived on 8 acres out in the country, and I had a 125-pound female Rottweiler. Her name was Killer, and we called her Killer Good Looking, but she was a sweetheart. But we had a glass sliding door that was really easy to open. And if she sat against it just right and sat down, it would slide open. And she never really would try to come in the house, but if the door was open, she would come in and lay by the fire. And we were used to that, and it didn't matter really. And we also, on this acreage, we had a neighbor named Mary had been walking, and a stray lamb had followed her, and she didn't know what to do with it. So she brought it up my driveway and asked if I could keep it on our property until we could all find out who owned it. And so it was Mary's little lamb that had followed her on a walk. So we had this lamb, and it hung out with my dog, Killer, and they kind of grazed together, and the lamb would eat dog food and Killer would eat grass. It was one happy little cohesive family. My older daughter had a rabbit named Patches. We had a cat named King Louie. We had 6 white leghorns and 1 little Rhode Island Red that we called the Little Red Hen. So we'd been out having fun with our family and friends and doing the Christmas celebration thing. And we got home and we saw that the door had been opened and we knew Killer was inside and we weren't worried a bit. Then we walked through the door and what we saw made our jaws drop. All the animals were in our living room. The tree laid on its side in the middle of the floor, and it was a mess. Chickens were lined up on the back of our couch. The rabbit was hiding. The cat was curled up on a chair, sleeping soundly, and Killer was sleeping by the fake fireplace. All of the cookies that we had strategically placed on the tree, even from years gone by, were gone. Every cookie had been eaten. Every single ornament that we had handcrafted over the years had been turned into a mangled up chew toy under the couch. Either the cat or the rabbit. We don't know for sure. They wouldn't tell. And the twinkly lights that were still on the tree, still twinkling, were glistening in all of the shards of every glass ornament that had been on the tree. Every single one. A shocker. The tree just laid there content. Mary's little lamb was standing in the middle of my living room on my cream-colored carpet peeing. So I quickly grabbed her and ushered her out the door and returned to the living room to stand in shock with my girls. The girls got the chickens off the back of the couch that were all lined up in a row, got them outside. So the first thing I did was I stood the tree up and out scurried the rabbit. We cleaned the ornaments out from under the couch and we started picking up chunks of glass and bits of ribbon and vacuumed, and I ended up having to roll my carpet and take it outside, and I hung it over the fence until I could deal with it. The girls got some cleaner and got chicken shit off the back of my couch. It was so unbelievable. After it was all cleaned up, we just sat there. And then we sat on the couch and just looked at this empty tree with twinkly lights. We were all in a little bit of shock, but we started laughing at the whole idea of everything that we saw. I don't know who it was who suggested it, but we decided to pop popcorn and string popcorn. And I went and bought cranberries and we strung cranberries. And the three of us sat there and did that and watched Christmas movies. And I don't know how many days it took, but we ended up decorating this huge, beautiful tree with popcorn and cranberries. And I gotta tell you, it was also very beautiful. So that's how our tree was decorated when Christmas finally came. When Christmas was over, we put the tree out in the front yard in front of our window and sat and watched the birds eat it. And it was wonderful and beautiful. And it extended the joy of the tree. It was beautiful because it was giving back to nature. It was beautiful in a different way. It was beautiful because we had so much fun. I'm calling this the Animals Christmas Story. Well, there you have it. The Animals Christmas Story. One I'll never forget, that's for sure. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe and press the like.